I want to talk about this one just for a couple of minutes because if you really want the details, go check out The Agile Within with Mark Metz. I enjoyed working with him. He's a guy I hadn't encountered too often before, but I thought he runs a great show. And I really enjoyed the topics, and I've been a listener for a little while. Go check him out. You'll love him, love him, love him. But I want to boil down for you, what do you do if you're trying to get yourself a little more well-known in the industry? There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're not doing it to try to draw attention to yourself. If you're just trying to pull focus onto you, you're in it for the wrong reasons. However, if you have a message that you think is worth spreading, if you have something that you think can make a difference, make an impact in our industry, and you really just want to get it on the ground, then you should be looking for opportunities to speak in public. You should have a podcast. You should have a YouTube channel like mine with 30 followers. Woot woot. I love you guys, I do. But I'm not, YouTube is not something I'm a natural at. I'm kind of an older dude, and so this stuff is a little, I won't say difficult for me, but it's foreign to me. So I'm trying to get on camera more and just enjoy some time with you while providing a ton of value. So I want to provide you a ton of value right now. If you're trying to get into a conference, who's going to help me write these stupid proposals? They're hard. They take a lot of work, they take a lot of research, and then they take a lot of your pride and your ego and your energy only to get rejected. And now you feel like crap because you start, after you get enough rejections in a row, you start to think maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. And that would be a shame because your voice matters. Your voice might need a little shaping. It might need a little elevating. Your voice might take time to fully sculpt. But trust me on this one, you belong on that stage. I feel like Jack Nicholson right now. You need me on that wall. But that's never been more true. We need people like you who, if they feel a little inkling, a little call to be on stage, share a message and change and shape our industry, then you gotta get out there, friends. You gotta. Okay. Real short and sweet. If you're listening to this today and you're thinking about creating some proposals, let me give you the stuff that you need to know. The really interesting thing is, if you learn this stuff, it's as valuable in sales and marketing as it is in creating pitches for a conference presentation. You can use this as a pitch to the executive team if you're trying to get support for how to do Agile better, to get more executive involvement or interests or resourcing or funding. Same principles apply. If you are trying to get a job and you're making a case for yourself, same rules apply. If you're looking for funding as a startup or within an organization to work on a special project, the same rules apply. Here are some of those Magic Kingdom rules. Number one, it's not about you, it's about them. You better get used to real fast the idea that when you're asking people for something, even their attention, they have to know what's in it for them. And that's not because we're selfish. It's because we're self-interested first. That's a natural response and a natural behavior, natural inclination. There's nothing wrong with it. And to pretend that it's not true is, as Ayn Rand once said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. So let's get with it. It's about them. People want to hear about things that fascinate themselves. When you buy a pair of shoes, when you buy a new car, when you buy a gadget, it is all about how you want to feel. Maybe you want to feel like you're in with the cool group. Maybe you want to feel a status bump. Maybe you want to feel like this phone will solve all of your problems or these shoes will solve all of your problems. As I'm saying this, I'm thinking to myself, I should get out of the Agile business and make shoes that solve people's problems. Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, the bottom line is that when you are talking about them and what they're going to get and what they're going to feel, now they're interested. Now you have their ears and eyes. So when you're making your proposal pitch, make sure that you remember the person reviewing your proposal is representing a bunch of organizers who are paying for this and hoping that they can draw in an audience that will not only fund the event, but draw advertising dollars, create reputation in the industry as being one of the best conferences or the must-attend conferences. All of those things matter to them. And here you are talking about how you found some trick in Jira that's going to change the world. And you're really proud of it, and you're the only person to think of it, and look how clever you are. Those things aren't interesting to people who organize conferences. Sorry. So what you have to do is figure out, what are they trying to do? One of the things you might want to ask is, what's the theme for this year's conference? Because if they're looking to market to a consistent base of people, and attract the right people, they're probably going to say, this year, you know what's hot? Security. So they're going to talk about Agile's role in enterprise or IT security maybe. Ask them what the theme is and make sure that your talk is aligned to that. Don't force the fit, but finding the fit is really important. The second thing that you can do is now write your proposal in such a way that it shows the reviewer and the organizer that you know how to pull in an audience, give them what they came for, and create an experience for them. What that means is your topic has to take them on a journey. Given a specific area, whether it's here's how Agile is applied to elevate or escalate or speed up your IT security implementations. Not from a compliance perspective, but from a real threat reduction perspective. So how Agile can play a role in making your organization more safe. Now we're starting to shape the Play-Doh into a title it's actually interesting to people who are going to pay $300, $3,000 for a ticket or $5,000 for a sponsorship booth. So you've got a hook. You've grabbed their attention. The next step is to take them on an emotional ride. So for example, does Agile have a part to play in speeding up security for an organization? Sure it does. But you, my friend, don't know anything about it. That makes you back of the pack. That makes you confused. That makes you a follower, not a leader. I'm going to take you from being a follower to being a leader. I'm going to take you from feeling underprepared to prepared, ready to serve, etc. I'm going to take you from not knowledgeable to expert. I'm going to take you from having no clue, no plan, and being overwhelmed and gripped with fear because you don't know what to do next, to having a solid strategic plan, founded in data, founded in proof and results. And that's the kind of language that people love to hear when they're considering what kind of talk to include in the agenda and what kind of talk they, as participants, want to go spend an hour on. Beautiful. So make it about them and make it about a transformational journey. Give them finally a topic that's a little bit new, but also is rooted in the familiar. If all you do is talk about some kind of hypertech that nobody knows about yet, you're going to lose people. The only people that go to that kind of event are the initiated or the curious. But if you want to reach the biggest number of people and you want to have the best chance possible for getting your proposal accepted, make sure that it's 80% novel and 80% familiar and 20% novel. You do those things and you give people a place where they feel comfortable. I know this topic. But now we're going to extend it to the right or to the left a little. We're going to spread the edges a little bit. We're going to push boundaries a little bit. Those make for great talks. So between knowing your customer what they want and knowing that people, most fundamentally, when they look for experiences, they want experiences that are going to move them. They want an emotional ride from place, wherever they are, to place. And the place where they're going should be a place that they secretly desire to be in. And it should be a place that they're not 100% sure they can get to. Now you become the guide. As the storyteller, as the presenter, you become the person who facilitates that emotional release of being in a place that's uncomfortable, not desirable, to a place they dare not dream of. It's so compelling. All right. And then the final thing is, don't forget, it should be mostly familiar with a little bit of novelty. So don't be afraid to take things in new directions. But remember, the number one problem that gets people's proposals rejected is they're not clear. What is the value you will get? What is it specifically I'm talking about? So don't be afraid to get specific, to say what your theory is, to say what your talk is about, to say who it will help and how it will help them. Get specific. Don't fear scaring a bunch of people away. There's no such thing as writing a proposal that's perfect for everybody. You want to write one that is perfect for a certain group, and you want to make sure that certain group is one that's going to be heavily attending that conference, and that's where we come back to know your audience, know the theme, know what the conference is looking to do. If you want to see my full guide on how to get your conference proposal approved, click the link down below. I've created a free PDF for you, and you can pull out all this information, and hopefully it will supercharge your chances of getting accepted. Remember, if you would like my help creating more courage, more results, more effectiveness, more authenticity, and less rule worshiping in your Agile Scrum organization, reach out to me. My contact information is below. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you found this one valuable. I'll see you in the next one.